So I have mixed feelings about Toy Story 4. I think it's good and also not very good at the same time. So let's go over the positives and negatives in this movie. So we're going to start off with the negatives and go into the positives so we can end up on a good note. You know what I mean? Alright, so there's not many negatives, but let's get started, guys. So my first negative is kind of like the main thing I have problem with this movie. Is that Bo Peep's storyline is pretty good, but I think I wish they would have did it together. Meaning instead of just Woody and kind of Forky going on their journey together, I wish it was all the cast together, or mainly at least just Buzz, Jesse, and Woody like a trio like they always have been. At least in the second one, I think that'd have been a bit more smart idea. But I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it a different kind of story. I really do get it. The second thing is kind of a nitpick a little bit, but it's still a negative, I guess. And that's that Bunny and Ducky felt a little forced and unnecessary, in my opinion. Now, at the end, you kind of like them eventually, but they do sound a little annoying when they're always like screaming and just like kind of, I don't know, they're just a little, like, I feel like they're kind of a cash grab, and that's sad to say, you know. Because they're very famous actors. Key and Peele obviously are really famous, especially Jordan Peele, because all these movies he's been making, like Us and Get Out, and I'm sure he's gonna make another new one soon. The third thing is that I feel like none of the scenes are really memorable, which is honestly a bummer to say because all of the Toy Stories have very memorable scenes, and I feel like there wasn't as much thought put into the scenes as well, which is honestly like really weird because half of the Toy Stories I can just think like, oh yeah, there's that scene, oh yeah, there's that scene, oh that scene, yeah, I definitely know that scene, but like in this movie, only thing I can think of that I remember somewhat is like the ending scene when Duke Kaboom is like riding his motorcycle and he lands in like the little hole thing to get the team across. That was a pretty cool scene. Like the whole ending scene I kind of remember for them somewhat, but that's like the only scene that comes close to any of the other Toy Stories, you know what I'm saying? Talking about scenes in general, the whole middle act is kind of boring in my opinion, and it played out for way too long. Like it was a good chunk of the movie that I was just kind of sitting there with like my hand on my cheek just like kind of waiting for something to happen, you know what I mean? I actually wanted to turn the movie off at one point, and when I was at the movie theaters I was like, man, this can ever be over? But yeah, when I rewatched it, I wanted to turn the movie off a little bit. I was kind of like sad to hear that, but yeah, it is true. So that's really all the negatives that I can really think of at this time. So we're gonna get on to the positives. So the first positive is really obvious, and that the visual effects are fantastic. I have never seen such great effects for any type of animation in my life. Heck, the animation even looks real at some points. Like some of the lighting and contrast and everything looks so gorgeous. I'm not even joking. Like I've never seen so many like perfect angles and shots. It just looks really awesome. I think it looks like they used like a real background, but like they placed Toy Story characters in there. I don't know what they did, but that's how real it looks. I also love the tribute Toy Story 4 gives to Toy Story 3 in the beginning. What I mean is when talking about Andy giving his toys to Bonnie, I think it's great because they're paying homage to it, and I really love Toy Story 3. Yeah, I know a lot of people had mixed opinions on that movie. Personally, I loved it. I also feel like the toys are great and even better than before for the most part. A perfect scene is right when beginning when Bonnie is getting bullied, and Woody gets utensils from the trash and gives it to Bonnie, and she makes Forky, and I think that's a great scene because it shows how caring Woody is for his owners, you know. So I think that's awesome. So since we're on Forky's topic, let's talk about Forky. I feel like Forky was a very, 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 very smart idea for the Toy Story franchise, and I think this is my favorite positive of the movie. I love everything about him. He just wants to go to the trash because he was made from it, really, obviously. Woody and the gang taught him living is important and why you shouldn't be sitting alone in the trash, which obviously isn't very relatable in real life, or which is very relatable, actually, what I'm talking about, but not the trash part, obviously. What I mean is, like, people don't want to be alive, kind of like suicide, and that kind of goes along in like a kidly manner, like of going in the trash is like the suicide part. It's kind of the same idea, not necessarily, but it's kind of talking about what that could do, you know, kind of the same effects it would cause, blah blah blah. I also love how Woody is a father figure to Forky. I think that's great. So the next point I think is actually kind of a somewhat not really needed point, but it's kind of one of those points that I feel like not people really talk about, and that is I really enjoy Gabby's motivation. If you guys know Gabby, she's like the main villain, if you call her a villain in the movie. I just think she's a toy who really wants to have a full potential. I mean, that's really anybody in life in general, and she just wants to be likable in the end. Like she really is. She actually does turn out to be a pretty likable character. I really liked her in the end, actually, like especially when she gives herself to like the kid that's really upset and she like lost her parents or whatever. I think that was a great scene, by the way, which is the ending scene. The next positive is that I really like Keanu Reeves' character, who is Duke Kaboom. I love how they gave him a lot of depth in the beginning since he couldn't live up to his full potential in like the commercial. I think that was great because it showed him what he can actually do, like, you know, under pressure, like just didn't give him the chance to do it, and he did it, you know. I think that was great in the ending scene. I also enjoy Woody's selflessness as well, especially in this movie because he saves Forky and Gabby Gabby, which is great because like when all the gang decides not to go back to save them too, Woody's like the only one that wants to go back and save them. Then eventually Bo Peep and everyone comes back, which is fine. But I think Woody was really good for that. The last positive I have on there is the ending scene is very good and it has a lot of heartfelt emotion. It really makes me tear up in the theater and also made me tear up at home too. So like that's what a good movie does. It makes you feel things, and I think that's really important for movies these days. Because like back in the day, you didn't really need that. You just can watch a movie and have fun. But in this generation, you want to feel something and have like a after effect. You don't want to be like, oh, that was a good movie, continue with your life. You could be like, oh, that was a great movie, and then you keep continuing talking about the movie. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like all these big blockbuster movies, they continue on and everything like that, even after they're out for a while. One of my final thoughts on Toy Story 4, I think it is a good movie, but it feels a little too rushed at points, especially the beginning, or not the beginning, especially the middle act. The beginning and final act of the movie is great, but the whole middle chunk is obviously just rushed and uninspired to me. So do I hate Toy Story 4? No, but I do think it could have been a little better. So you guys go watch it and make your own opinion. I don't want to always give you I don't want to tell you guys anything that I don't think is true. So you guys definitely go make up your own opinion. I don't want you guys to think this for real or anything. Like, it's not the facts or anything like I said in my last video. Just go watch it for yourself and you will see my own opinion. Anyways, I think it's a good movie. I definitely really like it. It's just some things I don't necessarily like about it. So thank you guys for watching and have a great rest of your day. Peace out, guys.